Recording in progress.
नहीं किसान गाँव का जो लेता हूँ तो घुमाए तो 5-7 लोग
शिक्षण का प्रोग्राम है।
हाँ
कहे कि बागवानी की
Let's welcome our. I would like to call Dr. Raju sir.
मेरी आवाज गई।
Please welcome our honorable Vice Chancellor sir. I would like to call. I would like to call Dr. Raju sir. Please welcome our honorable Vice Chancellor sir. And our Pro Vice Chancellor sir. And Dr. Tulsi Bhardwaj to please come on the stage. I request Dr. Raju sir to please welcome our Vice Chancellor sir. I would like to call Dr. Ganesh Bhardwaj, our registrar, to please welcome PVC sir, Dr. Jayanand. Now I would like to invite Dr. Neha Best to please welcome Dr. Tulsi Bhardwaj on the stage. Thank you, everyone. For our welcome address, I would like to invite the school everyone to applause. Thank you, Monica. Good morning to everyone here. Respected Vice Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, dignitaries on the of the dam and dear father. Thank you in advance to everyone present. I, Dr. Dina Prakash, Dean School of Biological Engineering and Life Sciences, on behalf of Shobhit University Mayor, welcome you all to an international conference on identification, convergence, implementation, and extension of science tech research for sustainable development. Firstly, I would like to welcome the experts for taking their precious time out and making to this event. Secondly, I would like to welcome the audience who are being present here today. It's my pleasure to introduce you all the speakers and participants who came from all across the country today to share their knowledge and research. Today, conference has a good number of the participants from different educational institutes around the country. I would like to share few words about the conference. The world is facing various environmental problems that may include climate change, degradation of ecosystem, scarcity of natural resources to sustain current and 8 billion population on this earth, and polluted soil, water, air that need to be managed by policymakers, business leaders, scientists, and the common man in a collective manner. The word sustainable means a process, technology, or a state that does not adversely affect the life, environment, earth, and ensures a long-term coexistence of
नमस्ते
life
भैया
forms
ये
without
वाली कुर्सी मिलेगी क्यों काली वाली नहीं आएगी इस पे बैठा जाएगा पूरा टाइम तो काली वाली क्यों नहीं आएगी सर को नहीं बोला हुआ भविष्य में आएगी रखो एक बार देखते हो कंफर्टेबल होएगी नहीं तो फिर यही वाली रख देना ये भी वैसे टूटी हुई है
Now, I would like to invite our honorable guest on the stage and would request them to share their knowledge.
कंफर्टेबल रहेगी तो कोई बात नहीं
Request my
क्योंकि ये भी
audience to
टूटी
remain
हुई है
seated
तो मैंने
and listen to our expert as thereafter they shall be liable to raise their doubts and questions. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the upcoming session. Thank you.
थोड़े टाइम के लिए तो ठीक है चलो आएगी तो भिजवा दीजिए
Thank you, ma'am. To continue the session, I would like to call Dr. Tulsi Bhardwaj to say a few words about the conference and the organization New Age Mobilization Society.
Good morning, everybody. All to respected delegates, respected Vice Chancellor, sir, respected registrar, deans, professors, and all the eminent scientists, students. I welcome you all to the auspicious occasion of this international conference. Before starting about the conference, I would like to mention a few words about the society. The Society, Mobilization Society, was established back in 2015 under the patronage of great scientist Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. In the starting, the society started some few projects, especially for the nutritional and other areas. And from there, we have inception for doing work in agriculture, especially under the prevalent schemes which are running under the government areas. So not only in the projects, then we started for this events also, and that is why the society is running a science tech event every year annually. And I am very happy to share with you that this is non-stop 1 year. Only the COVID year, if we will exclude, since 2019, the society is every year conducting an annual event. And the society also tries to organize the science tech events on serving for a common platform to agri stakeholders. And this time, international conference, identification, convergence, implementation, extension of science tech for sustainable development 2022 included agriculture sciences, biotechnology, improvement, plant sciences, social sciences, life sciences, veterinary sciences, horticulture, post-harvest, agriculture engineering, futuristic adaptive measures, and this time we have also included a life sciences for the basic research, as well as we have included especially for our the social science students also. So this time we have included 10 sessions in this conference, so the huge amount of the participant can interact with their technical and aspects. So in the conference, we have more than 100 aspects and so few lead papers, research papers also. But you know, when we are going in a hybrid mode, so delegates take the advantage of being presenting online. So that is why I think this is a disadvantage of the physical concentration. And for the last few technical sessions, I hope that delegates will perceive a good quality science tech atmosphere advisor ecosystem in this Shobhit University. We have established the house for our eminent, enthusiastic Vice Chancellor, sir, under the guidance of his. We have worked hard, and I really thankful to the Shobhit University staff and all the staff and concerned people who have made this event successful. So I welcome you once again for this auspicious event, and we really hope that for this event we would like to obtain and exceed complete proceedings out of this occasion, so we can mark this occasion really fruitful for making a message to the agriculture community. Thank you to all.
Thank you, ma'am. To continue the session, I would like to call our respected Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Jayanand, to shed a light to say a few words about the university.
Good morning to all. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Ramakar, Professor Tulsi Bharadwaj from the Society for Good Cause. Today we are inaugurating the conference, 2 days conference, which is entitled as Identification, Convergence, Implementation, Extension of Sciences and Tech Research for Sustainable Development. I do remember when I entered it is there, Honorable Vice Chancellor has made one quote, what do we need?
कह रहे हैं देना तो उसको फिर एक्स्ट्रा और केमिकल पड़ेगा। तो उन्होंने ये सजेशन दिया है कि जरूरी नहीं है कि 120 आपको जो रिकमेंडेड डोज है उसको आप देखिए
what to be done.
इसमें से ये हटा
As we all know that
यही तो मैंने
population is increasing day by day.
कि वो भी बोल रहे हैं
We
कि
are
अलग-अलग
approaching 1.5 billion. Land is reducing every day. But when the land is reducing, the yield is required more and more every day. And in that situation, we need to produce more yield, more cereals, more food materials from the agriculture. It is very difficult. Only it will be possible when we can identify the problem. What the problems we have in agriculture, how we can converge all the sciences, all the technologies to overcome the challenges, overcome the problems. And then after, whatever we are finding the solution, how it can be implemented. That is implementation. And then after, extension or technical programs means how we can develop the prototypes and all for the sustainable development of agriculture. That is why the title has been conceptualized. So very well thought and very well conceptualized this program. I must say that whomsoever has invented this title, it is very much relevant to the presentation. So I have been told to tell about our own organization, that is Shobhit University, Shobhit University. This institution has academic legacy of around 100 years. We have started in 1924 when we established first school, and then after in 2000 we have established this organization as engineering college, which has been given or acknowledged by the government and made it as a deemed to be university in 2006. And then after, we had the first convocation in 2009. So this is just a small milestones which says number of things, which conveys number of things. And we have been blessed by very luminary leaders of country like Deputy Prime Minister Advani ji, Honorable Prime Minister Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, Honorable Vice President Sri Bhairav Singh Shekhawat ji, Honorable Person K.S. Sudarshan ji, Honorable Governor of Uttar Pradesh Ram Nayak ji, Honorable Governor of Goa Satyapal Malik ji. 13th convocation, in last convocation, we had the chief guest Sri Purushottam Rupala ji. So there are number of the numbers are in countless. So these are the few among the leaders who has mentored this organization. Still they are in touch of this institution. If you see the vision of the organization, the university has the vision which says that it will be internationally recognized as a premier institution of India with global perspective that educates the leaders who will fashion a more human world. It is the vision of this organization where we have very clear thought. We will develop the human being which can be the leader of the world. Vasudev Kutumbakam, it is reflected in our vision. In mission to promote learning in Indian tradition with international outlook. We are not leaving the Indian or indigenized technology or learnings, whatever we had in the ancestral time. पहले विश्व गुरु रहा करता था. We are in the same line to make with our mission. That is there, and we are going to fulfill our mission by our 5 schools. Those schools are School of Engineering and Technology, School of Law, School of Basic and Applied Sciences, School of Business Studies, School of Education. And these are the temple of learning of different areas where we are propagating the education through different level of programs. It may be UG programs, it may be postgraduate programs, it may be research programs. And our organizational structure is very robust. We fulfill all the guidelines of UGC and MHRD. We have organizational structure. The apex person is the vice chancellor of this organizational tree. Above that, honorary visitor is there, that the honorable chancellor is there. And then after, the whole organizational tree is there, organogram is there. We believe in decentralization and participative management. Decentralization, we give opportunity to each and every staff, right from the vice chancellor to the clerk as well as the clerk. They can put their excellence for the betterment of the organization. Not only the employees, even the students, alumni, and the parents are also the stakeholders of this organization in the decision-making policy. Decentralization, participative management, these are our policies. We have signed till date more than 50 industry as well as different organizations which are very much involved in societal development and national empowerment at large. We have very good quality assessment cell in the organization that is there. That is the mandate of UGC. We develop, and when we established as a deemed to be university, basically we have been given the power to make our own syllabus make our own curriculum, make our own question, evaluation, and all. So, curriculum development is very important for any organization, which can have the reflection of the problem of the society and then after solution of the society. Extension activities, I would say this conference is also a kind of extension activities. The society is having very good cause where the institution is involved and associated with the society. And with this conference, we will have some solutions for the sustainable development, and that will be sent to the concerned ministry for their policy decisions. And if you see, there are a number of things. I'm not going to give the details about the organization, otherwise it will damn the other sessions. So if you see the research, because we all are related with the research, we have research development cell, we have technology business incubator, very rare technology business incubator in the country. We have Rudraksh Research Center. I would definitely request you all, for those who are from the outside, you must visit the Rudraksh Center. Crop cafeteria, we have hydroponics, we have greenhouse, we have classroom configuration, we have lab to land, gladiolus, tulip, and other endangered species we are developing. BMW Mechanical Innovation Center we have. Bioremediation is we have. Bioremediation Center. Gut microbiome development we are making. In fact, we are propagating different gut microbiomes in our lab for probiotics and all. Biopreservation we have. Plant tissue culture we have. Modrog lab we have. There are a number of things, good things in fact, I would say. We have. So I would request you, whenever you get time, please visit the labs, and accordingly, if you find that if something is there with your interest, so you can submit the joint project, joint proposal, and we are open to accept all the joint projects if it is good enough. So thank you and good wishes to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dr. Amar Prakash, to please address the gathering. Please give a round of applause, everybody.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all, and welcome in Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology. My colleague, Dr. Janan, Professor Tulsi Bharadwaj, Badal Datta, Tarun, Divya, Alpna, Shel Dhaka, all faculty members and the participants online and offline. As you know that the conference is under the dual mode, so several participants, they have joined us online. This is the effect of Corona, that the Corona has given us this boon, I will say, that you can join anywhere, anytime. So without wasting much time between you and the science, I would straightforward come to the inaugural address, what I have selected, what we do need for the sustainable agriculture. Everybody is talking about the sustainability. But in my opinion, the word sustainable is most abused. Nothing is sustainable in the world. You have to make it sustainable, or you have to make it for long-term survival. You have to make sense. Environment and development both are opposite to each other. And if you are able to make a balance in such a way that both are able to promote each other without adversely affecting the life of all organisms in this universe, then only you can say that it is a system. As you know that the Earth evolved 4.2 billion years ago, and then the life evolved in 2.6 billion years ago. And in 2.6 billion years, what we have lost. If we compare, we will find that only during the last 50 years, after 1970, we have degraded the environment. We have degraded the Earth. And we are responsible for creating the unsustainable world. Now becomes that what really we do need. If we see that the agriculture, do you think that the agriculture can be sustainable? Or by making the agriculture sustainable, can we develop a sustainable world? Agriculture is only a very small part. I will say that before we focus on the agriculture, we will have to touch the industrial part. The industry technology, what we are using during the last 50 years, that is mainly the global competition. And we have forgotten the environment. 50 years just after 70. Before 70, very few people, only the scientists were knowing the greenhouse gas. Only the scientific literature. But now, during the last 20 years, I will say, everybody is knowing the greenhouse gas. Everybody is seeing the impact. If you will go to the campus here itself, you will find that the mango tree, it is having the smaller leaves instead of the flowering. That is the impact of the climate change. The sudden rise in temperature. You are seeing the climate change in New Zealand. You have seen the floods, cyclone in the last week. Every country is facing. Now, in this month of February, there is a rise of 9 degrees Celsius temperature in comparison to the previous years of February. 9 degree. 9 degree in the month of February rise temperature. It is a very significant number. The rise in temperature, it will lead to the loss of the agriculture. It will lead to the loss of the seed setting. It will lead to the loss of the fertilization. And it will also lead to the imbalance, diversity, several things. So I just want to emphasize that the climate change is the biggest challenge at present before the agriculture scientists. And to meet this challenge, 2023 has been declared as the International Year of the Millets. Many of young friends may ask a question from me that why millets? Why UN decided to focus on the millet? Sorghum, bajra, all these crops, they are not prone to climate change. They can be cultivated under adverse conditions. They need less water. They need different varieties of the temperature, and their fertilization seed setting is largely not affected by the temperature rise and fall, sudden rise and fall. You will notice that sudden rise and fall just before 2 days, you found that summer has been started almost, and in summer there was a fog, and 35 cars they missed on the limit. This is the impact of the climate change. Many of the scientists, Western scientists, still they do not blame Russian-Ukraine war as a reason for the climate change. But truly speaking, this is one of the reasons also for rising the temperature in this area particularly. So the vast changes. This that is the International Millet Year. It will also facilitate the young populations for getting the high nutrition, and at the same time, it will also pave the way for the sustainable agriculture. That is why I made this point. Tell me, guys. Yes, sir. इसको चलाओ. So the sustainable agriculture, in fact, we will have to focus one on the climate change. In the second, we will have to focus on the depleting nutritional status. So these are the 17 sustainable goals which were launched in 2015 by UN. And you will find that out of these 17, directly which are related to the agriculture, the first one is related to the agriculture. Second, about 50% of the goals you will find that they are directly or indirectly they are related to the sustainable agriculture. So if we focus on the sustainable agriculture, then we will be able to make a significant achievement in the sustainable development goals which have been launched. The climate change biggest challenge as I discussed. And the climate change, you know that 1.5 degrees Celsius rise in temperature, it is now estimated that annually it will go. And now if it happens, you can now imagine that what will be the condition. The rising temperature not only lead to the biodiversity loss, it will also lead to the uncomfortable life and several problems. Rising sea level is also one of the most important causes. As the temperature will rise, the sea level will rise, and due to the rising sea levels, 15 countries in the world which are near the sea, they are under the danger zone of the drowning. And this New Zealand or Auckland cyclone, it is a warning to the entire world. It is a warning. Every 100, you will find that the population will increase more than 10 billion. 10 billion is expected to cross by 2050. Already it has crossed 8 billion. Now to feed this 8 billion population, we have to change the agriculture criteria. And what we need to feed this 10 billion population, we need 56% extra food, what we are growing at today. 593 million hectares extra land to grow this 56, and 11 gigatons of the greenhouse gas mitigation that need to be reduced. These are the 3 factors on which we will have to focus. Now, what are the solutions? 5 solutions are suggested to feed this 10 billion population. we can reduce the growth in demand for the food and other agricultural products. That is the one thing. But I think that this is not a viable solution. But if physiologically, medically, or biomedically, if you see, 30% of the population of the world is facing the obesity. And 30% of this population of the world is facing the obesity not because of the scarcity of food, but because of the more eating habit. In 2023, I have taken a resolution that I have reduced my diet and I take only one chapati in the lunch and one chapati in the dinner. Cereals, as I have reduced. Everybody knows now. So the overeating, by eating more food, you cannot survive a longer. You should eat that much only what is required for your body. Intake and outtake of the energy. And if your intake and outtake anything is more, then either you will be lean and thin or you will be obese. So this is the one solution. Although many of my colleagues, scientists, they did not agree with my suggestion. These are the 5 suggestions which I made when I, during the Corona period, I prepared this lecture. And I had plenty of time to go to the various literature and all things, and so enough time to think about the second point. What I decided, or what is proposed, that is increase the food production without expanding agricultural land. Now this is the, and you see that the Shobhit University has already started the efforts on this, and the hydroponics is one of the alternatives. You will, if you go to the Japan, you will find that normal cultivation. And I suspect that by 2035 in India also, the terrace gardening and the hydroponics will become very common. Protect and restore natural ecosystem. This is the third, because natural ecosystem, if we will not protect, then the sustainable, you forget about. There is a scarcity of the pollinators at present. And many, you might have already heard the story of China in 1956. Many of, maybe that you just know that China story? No, let me tell you. चाइना ने 1956 में क्या किया था? चाइना ने जितनी भी बर्ड्स थी, चाइना को जो था, माओ को ये कहा गया कि साहब जो 30% ऑफ द फूड है चाइना का, वो सारी बर्ड्स खा जाती है, और ये बर्ड्स जो है ये ही हमारी जो है सबसे बड़ी दुश्मन है। तो माओ थे, कम्युनिस्ट थे भाई, उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है, ऑल राइट, जितनी बर्ड्स हैं सबको जो मार दो। तो जितनी भी बर्ड्स थी पूरे चाइना के अंदर, सबने वो सारी बर्ड्स मार दी। मतलब विद इन 2 years द ऑल बर्ड्स वर फिनिश्ड। और उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि देयर वाज नो सीड सेटिंग। सारी क्रॉप्स जो थी उनके अंदर अगली साल जब हुआ, वो तो सोच रहे थे कि साहब अब तो हमारे पास फूड जो है 30% सरप्लस हो जाएगा एंड वी विल बी एबल टू फीड द एंटायर पॉपुलेशन। और फिर उसके बाद वहां फूड का स्कार्सिटी हो गई, फूड मिला नहीं, तो फिर फ्रांस से बर्ड्स मंगाई। और आज भी टुडे, इवन टुडे, द चाइनीज हैबिट of eating of the animals, nobody in the science support it. Pollinators gardens, when I was a sectional, or still I am a sectional president up to 31st March, sectional president of the environmental science of the Indian Science Congress, and there also it was a great and huge discussion on this particular issue, and we have proposed a change of the definition of the forest. Forest, you think that this is only the large area? No. The urban forest, we have given the definition that the urban forest, the small lands, small parts, they should be declared as the urban forest, and they are the pollinator gardens, beautiful flowers. You will find that the beautiful flowers on the campus we have planted. This is the Shobhit University is in fact a pollinator garden, so that the insects, butterflies, pollinators, they can survive and they can remain. So without the pollinators, without the insects, it will be difficult for the agriculture to become a sustainable. And for that, we have to work hard. We have to think about it. So we have to protect the biodiversity, increase fish supply. This is another thing which I have proposed. Many of you might ask a question to me that fish is a non-veg, but it is still a very controversial. Fish को scientifically बहुत सारे लोग अभी भी non-veg में count करेंगे. It is a product of the vegetarian diet, 100% vegetarian diet, and it can be consumed. It does not bleed the bleed, it does not bleed, and therefore, so the fish diet should be, and fish diet is nutritious. It is rich in proteins, rich in linolenic acid, omega fatty acid, C18-3, which is very good for many things. Reduce greenhouse gas. So these are the 5 things, and these 5 things, their variation, they may vary from country to country. Their intensity, it depends upon their climatic conditions, several things. So if we focus on these 5 points, then we will be able to feed 10 billion population by 2050. I will give the another thing. If you don't agree with this, then another alternative I will give during the course. So first course, reduce growth in the demand food, reduce the food loss and waste. जरूरी नहीं है कि आप खाना ही कम करें. बहुत सारे लोग जो है कहेंगे कि साहब खाना कम करने की बात कर रहे हैं तो गलत है. तो आप reduce food loss. 40% of the food is wasted in the Western countries. And now even in urban India, 27% food wastage. So if we can reduce this, then we can feed the population. The shift to healthier, more sustainable diets is the another thing. Modi ji, or not Modi ji, the UN has already declared the International Millet Year in 2023. In some of my students, they have already prepared some beautiful cakes or the cookies, I will say cookies, that research paper has been already published by using the germinated millets. And they are having the 30% more nutritive value than the normal grains. So the various type of the preparations can be made by using this food. Avoid competition from bioenergy and food crops and land. This is the another solution which I am suggesting, because what is happening that in the name of the green energy, we are focusing on more and more on the conversion of the biomass into the energy. So that is not the solution. The solution will lie in the solar power. Solar energy, which is the renewable source and which is not going to finish. Only 1% of the sun is coming to the earth, and out of this 1%, only 1% is being consumed by the plants. So still this 99% of 1%, 99% of 1%, if we convert to through the solar energy, we will be able to provide a better source. Achieve the replacement level of the fertility rates. That is the another, which is the part of the agriculture scientists, that the plant breeders, they can work on, they can produce the new varieties, they can produce the hybrid varieties. So these are the 4 solutions to achieve this first solution. The second course, what I said, that they increase the food production without expanding agriculture land. What we can do, we can increase the livestock. I will come that how the livestock can can contribute into the agriculture, improve the crop breeding, again a part of the agriculture scientist, improve soil and water management. This is the most important part, soil and water management. You find that we are taking out the water from the earth and pumping into the sea. Simple funda. Scientific principle is very clear that whatever the amount of water you are pumping out from the earth, the same amount should go into the earth. But that we are not doing. And the only solution is the rainwater harvest. If we do not focus on the rainwater harvest, then the water will continue to drop. And the city like Shimla, which is having plenty of water, that you know that there is the drought in the month of May, June. So there were plenty of ice, plenty of snow, plenty of waterfalls, plenty of natural water is available. Even there you are finding the droughts. So because we are pumping out from the soil, from the earth, and not putting it back. That is the best example. The plant existing cropland more frequently. We have to focus and adapt to climate change. This is the millet crops. The third course, what we suggest, that the protect and restore the natural ecosystem and limit the agricultural activity. For that, what are the solutions? Link productivity gains with protection of the natural ecosystem. You have to focus on the circular ecosystem, I will say. Circular economy, many of the people you are studying. But unless you focus on the circular ecosystem, it is waste. Circular ecosystem will automatically provide the circular economy. So the limit the inevitable croplands and reforest the agriculture lands. And the greenhouse gas need to be reduced. Many of the youngsters, I would like to invite your attention that if you go to the world, India is the third largest greenhouse gas production. You will find this. But the population of India is 1.4 billion. And if you divide by 1.4 billion, then you will find that we stand at the lowest. Per capita production of the carbon emission is 1.7 in India, while it is 15.8 in China and 21.2 in US, in Canada, all these countries. So whenever you see that, because you have to see per capita also, but it doesn't mean that we should not use the carbon emission less technology. We should focus on the development, we should focus on the carbon emission, and we should focus on the zero carbon emission policy, and we will be able to achieve. That is not an issue. The fourth one is the fish supply that I have already improved the wild fish management and improve the productivity. The fifth is the reduced greenhouse gas emission. And for the reduction of the greenhouse gas emission, we will have to mainly focus on the vehicular pollution. And the vehicular pollution, that is the fossil fuel, has to be reduced. Government of India has introduced a policy of the 20% mixing of the ethanol on 1st February 2023. Although this target was fixed for the 1st April, but 2 months ahead, the government has started. So agriculture scientists here, they can focus on more and more sugarcane production. And if the more and more sugarcane is produced, then we will be able to produce more and more ethanol. And this is the only alternative to reduce the vehicular pollution. 37% of the air pollution, it is caused by the vehicular, 35% by the industry. Industries, we cannot reduce. but the vehicular pollution we can reduce. And to reduce the industrial pollution, we will have to use the modern technology. So the greenhouse gas or carbon emission need to be reduced. And carbon emission is the major problem of this climate change. So climate change is being caused 70 to 75% of the climate change is only because of this carbon emission. So if we are able to reduce this carbon emission, then we will be able to fight with this. Indian agriculture export, you have seen that we are doing the wonderful, fantastic. Even during the Corona period, 17% of the GDP, it was contributed by the agriculture sector. So agriculture is a wonderful thing. And I personally, I feel that if the government of India focus more and more on the agriculture, then what to talk of the 5 trillion economy, we can achieve the 10 trillion economy. The only thing is that we have to focus on agriculture. Not the agriculture, but the diversified. Demand for food crops in future food crops, you will find that the demand will increase for the crops which are having the more roots, vegetables, and the plant-based diet. It is estimated that by 2050, 80% of the people of the world will convert to the plant-based diet. Has compelled the people to change their diets. Animal source of the food, they will also increase, but selected animal food. Selected, not every animal. Selective animal feed. Demand for the animal food, particularly it will increase for the eggs and the egg products, milk, pork and poultry. This is the demand which is expected to rise by 2050. So we can start thinking of the change in the agriculture in such a way that we can be able to feed by 2050. Nutritional divide, if you will see, then you will find that less than 1/3 of the population is getting the right amount of the nutrients. 2/3 of the population is undernourished as far as the nutrition is concerned. So we have to focus on the nutrition-rich agriculture products. Diverse will find the middle-income countries, they are also not able to afford the nutritious diet. Even in India, you will find that hardly 5% of the people are able to afford the nutritious diet. Only 5%. Contributions of the animal proteins, it will rise in the by 2050. And if you will see, then you will find particularly the consumption of the eggs, it will increase. Livestock provide the nutrients besides the milk. India's livestock production is quite good. We are first in many of the animals, 535.78 million livestock, the highest in the world, but we are also having the highest population. So if you see the per capita animal production is still we are lacking. So when we are seeing or data, then we have to convert as a country as a whole and as well as per capita. So livestock, you will find the 202.5 million tons of the milk we are able to produce, and we are first in the world. And in the egg production, 75 million, third in the egg production in the world. In the meat production, we are not standing in the, or even in the first 10. Meat production, we are very less. And in the fish production, also we are standing second in the world. Livestock is the 2019 data, and after that the data is not available. But you will see that the second first, or so we are having a quite good number. But again, I told you that when you will convert to the per capita, then we are lagging there. Average yield of the milk per animal, it is still much. We can increase it. And I know that the agriculture university is doing a good work. Last time we were conducting one of the coursework also. This was conducted by veterinary college in collaboration with the Shobhit University for the artificial insemination. And artificial insemination, you know that only 30% of the animal in India, they are given, while our target is to reach 70%. Artificial insemination can increase the milk production. So this is also a part of the agriculture scientist for the sustainable agriculture, where we have to focus. Role of livestock in the economy, you will find that the 40% of the contribution in the total agriculture is by the livestock. 40%, where we are not focusing. So we have to focus on the livestock also. The livestock, 40% to the GDP, 23% they contribute to the nitrogen of the soil, animals, livestock in the cultivation of the crops, and the small holders. That is the one of the major problem for the India. That in India, mostly you will find that the farmers, they are having 1 to 5 animals. So we have to convert, or we have to make the agriculture sustainable only when we are having large number of the farmhouse. That is the one solution. Global Hunger Index. Here I would like to invite the attention of the all. India has been projected at the number 101, and Pakistan at below over, the much better condition. Do you agree this? No. So this we criticize in the Indian Science Congress also. And from this platform also, I would like to say that now these international rating agencies are losing their credibility. So don't mislead. These are the misleading information just to defame the country. In fact, practically, we do not stand at that position which has been shown by the international agency. These international agencies are busy in defaming the country. So just, I would like to invite the attention of the youngsters. Don't believe this. Don't write this. Don't quote this. And don't trust this. Now, what India needs? India needs to focus on 10 sustainable goals on top priority. There are 17, but in my opinion, if we focus on the 10 by 2030, then we will be able to make a significant contribution to the world growth. On poverty, on zero hunger, again related to the agriculture, good health, quality education. This is one of the very important aspects for the institutions like Shobhit University and other higher education. We have to focus on the quality education. If we will provide the quality education, then many of the things will change automatically. Clean water, climate action, and the one is the time. So these 7, if we focus on 7 sustainable goals, then we will be able to make the comfortable life of average Indian by 2030. Now, how we can make this, how we can achieve these 10 sustainable goals? These 10 sustainable goals we can achieve by focusing on the solar energy, biodiversity, nutrients recycling, and population control. These are the 4 points. If we can focus, concentrate, and devote ourselves on these 4 aspects, we will be able to achieve the target. Now, this is one of the most important slides, which I would like to invite the attention of everyone. You will find every day there is thing that grow green, green biomass, forest. Have you ever thought that how much green biomass at present we have on this planet? Already 82.4%. How much you want? Do you want it 90%, 95%, or 100%? Then what will happen to the others? Green biomass is not the only thing which need to survive on this earth. Very simple, I can tell you two things. One is the photosynthesis, and this photosynthesis, it needs the nutrients. From where the nutrients will come? From the soil. And in the soil, from where they come? From the recycling. And who is responsible for the recycling? Microbes. So if there is no recycling of the matter, what will happen? So what we have been doing, that by using the systemic agrochemicals or systemic pesticides, fungicides, insecticides, we are killing the microbial diversity. And this microbial diversity is the main cause of the loss of fertility, soil fertility. So the natural farming, organic farming, I am focusing on the organic farming, or I am not saying, or I am not leading the organic farming, because organic farming has the several complications also. Because using the organic farming, you cannot have a disease-free crop. I'm fully convinced. Those many of the people, they say organic. India is having only 2% of the organic farming. If you use the natural farming, compost, manure, with little amount of the chemicals, but only those chemicals which are biodegradable, then we can be able to achieve the good target. So for the sustainable agriculture, what we propose as a microbiologist, what I propose, that the systemic agrochemicals must be banned. Limited amount or limited use of the biodegradable pesticides, fungicides, they can be used as an integrated pest management system. And if there is a loss of 5 to 10% in the crop, don't use any chemical. If the loss of the green biomass, if the loss of the biomass of the crop is more than 10%, then only use the chemical. If it is up to the 10%, then you allow it to continue, so that the balance in the biodiversity of the organisms, diversity of the microorganisms can be achieved, and the sustainable agriculture or the sustainable environment or the sustainable world can be produced. Now, this is I think that I'm running out of the time, so I will just focus on these last 2 slides, because then another aspect is the bioeconomy. By 2050, you believe or do not believe me, but it will happen. By 2050, the agriculture, conventional agriculture, it will be reduced. The people will not focus it. People will not grow the rice. People will not grow the wheat. People will not grow the cereals. And this will be in the shape of microwave foods. Still, there are several microbes which are under cultivation and under use. So the nutritious crops, nutritious food, highly vitamins, or good quality of the food, you will find only through the microbes by 2050. So the bioeconomy, biotechnology, life science will play a great role in the coming 30 years. A room of this much size where you are sitting, which will be able to feed the entire millet. Agricultural land will be reduced. The scientists are working on the biomass, microbial biomass, and the microbial biomass will become a major contribution to the growth of the countries, growth of the GDP, and the agriculture will be replaced. So these things will also be converted into the agriculture of the diversified. So the food and beverages, enzyme technology, metabolites, several things, everything you will find from the micro. Biological generation, environmental protection, agriculture, biotechnology, diagnostic tools, everything microbes as biofertilizers in the agriculture. Some microbes you still get many as the biofertilizers, cyanobacteria. I will go just quick fast. Biopesticides, several things, ethanol production that I have already told you that this is the only alternate solution for the agriculture and for the country economy and the GDP. You know that Brazil is the only country in the world which is having the 100% transport of the ethanol. And now we are also going on 10% mixing. Although there's a 10%, there is a 10% mixing in every petrol production from every petrol pump at present. 10% ethanol is being mixed. And now the 20% has been allowed. And I think that by 2025, the 20% target will be achieved. And the agriculture will play again an important role. This is a good sign also that that the farmers from the western UP who are mainly growing this cash crop, the sugarcane, there the demand will continue to rise. White sugar consumption will be reduced, and this sugar will be converted into the alcohol. White sugar is known as the white poison, and the many of the people nowadays, many health conscious people or health aware people, I will say. Conscious to everybody है, लेकिन aware बहुत कम लोग हैं. Every health aware people, they have already stopped using the white sugar. So these several things, I think that now I should stop because already the time has run out. And so I would like to stop my lecture here. Then, if you want, then I can continue. There is no issue because you are putting the ball in my court. So anyway, we can conclude that the agriculture has a vast role in the GDP. Many of the planners or policy makers, they have underestimated it, that it is only 17%. No, my dear, if you see its indirect contribution, if you count its indirect contribution in the GDP is much more. This is the direct contribution. Because policy makers जो है वो भी agriculture के लिए biased ही हैं. मैं तो कहूँगा 58% of the population of the India is surviving on the agriculture in India. But if you go to any country in the world, you will find that the agriculture is being. आप जैसे आप देखते हैं कि सारे आपके UN भी है और ये सारे के सारे रोज हमको गाली देते हैं कि साहब आप सब किसानों को सब्सिडी दे रहे हैं. सब्सिडी हम सब्सिडी नहीं दे रहे हैं भाई. सब्सिडी हमसे ज्यादा तो वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज वाले दे रहे हैं. आप देखो मैं किसी गवर्नमेंट को प्रमोट नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं किसी उसका नाम नहीं ले रहा हूं, बट ड्यूरिंग द लास्ट 7 to 8 years the policy of the government is that कि हम इंटरनेशनल जो फंडिंग एजेंसी है उनके दबाव में कोई पॉलिसी नहीं बनाते. वट एवर दी पॉलिसी वी आर मेकिंग, हम अपने दबाव में तो बना सकते हैं, लोकल दबाव में, लेकिन हमारे पे इंटरनेशनल दबाव नहीं चल रहा है. नहीं तो अदरवाइज पहले IMF हमको डिक्टेट करता था, वर्ल्ड बैंक डिक्टेट करता था, ये सारे हमको डिक्टेट करते थे कि आप ऐसे बनाओ, ऐसे करो पॉलिसी, और वो सारी पॉलिसी जो होती थी वो वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज के फेवर की होती थी. So now, thanks to the policy makers or the नीति आयोग, I will say कि वहाँ कुछ ब्रिलियंट लोग बैठे हुए हैं. मैं ये नहीं कहता कि पॉलिटिशियंस ब्रिलियंट हैं. Some scientists are sitting over there who are rightly giving the right feedback, and they are forcing it. They are raising their voice. नीति आयोग का कंपोजिशन आप देखेंगे तो उसमें आपको 70% साइंटिस्ट है. कोरोना पीरियड में वाई वी कुड कंट्रोल, क्योंकि ये इसका जो मैनेजमेंट था वो डॉक्टर्स के हाथ में था. आप इसको एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर के हाथ में दे देते, डीएम के हाथ में, सत्यानाश हो जाता. सो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन दे कैन नॉट कंट्रोल एवरीथिंग. साइंटिफिक कम्युनिटी जो है दे कैन कंट्रोल द थिंग्स. और अभी भी एग्रीकल्चर हिंदुस्तान के अंदर आई विल से इट दैट वी आर नॉट एट द टॉप in per capita, in per hectare yield, but in the whole we are at the top, and per hectare yield we can increase at least 5 times. There is much scope. India can feed, still India can feed the entire world. We can produce the wheat, we can produce everything by using the sustainable agricultural technology. So the planning, strategy, and execution, these are some of the important things where we need to focus. And when we are talking about the 5 trillion economy or 10 trillion economy, without focusing on agriculture, you cannot. मैं तो कई बार कहता हूँ, जब मैं 6ठी 7वीं क्लास में पढ़ता था तो हम कहते थे कि हिंदुस्तान एक कृषि प्रधान देश है, लेकिन अब राजनीति प्रधान देश है. तो इस राजनीति प्रधान को हमें हटाना है, फिर दोबारा से कृषि प्रधान बनाना है, तभी जाकर के हम लोग सक्सेसफुल हो पाएंगे. So thank you very much for attending the conference, online and offline both, and enjoy your stay here. Those who want to stay and they need the accommodation, if they have come from outside, they can contact us. We will provide, no issue. And enjoy your academic presentations. So I think that we will break for the tea or coffee. Tea, coffee, there is outside. And yes. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request our Honorable Registrar sir to come for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Monica. A very good afternoon to all. Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, Pro Vice Chancellor sir, and Dr. Tulsi Madam. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose the vote of thanks on this special occasion to organize 5th International Conference on Identification, Convergences, Implementation and Extension of Science Tech Research for Sustainable Development at Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, NAC A grade accredited, deemed to be university from 21st Feb to 22nd Feb. On behalf of the Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, convey deep regard and healthy thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, Professor Amar Prasad sir, for their kind words and explain a very brief sustainable development in a very different way. I thank you, sir. I am also thankful to the Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Jnanand sir, for giving brief introduction about the Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today, my words are not enough to express the gratitude to our guest, Dr. Tulsi Bharadwaj, who gives introduction about the conference. I would like to thank all the dignitaries who blessed us with their presence. I am also very much thankful to all the chairman, co-chairman, secretary, and members of organizing committee and the invited speakers. Words are not enough to thank their constant guidance and support to shape the conference. I would like to thank our beloved Dean Director director, HOD, and all faculty members for his constant help and guidance. We will ever remain grateful to you and we thank you for being with us today. I am very much thankful to all our non-teaching staff members who always stand by us and motivate us. They supported in all positive manner to organize this conference. I feel proud and thank you for making this conference a successful one. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated students, committee, and volunteers. I cannot thank everyone enough for the involvement they have shown and the willingness they have expressed to take on the completion to tasks beyond their comfort zone. It would have been impossible to organize it without their support. Thank you very much again. Thanks to all of you for making this conference successful in future. Have a wonderful stay in Shobhit University. Enjoy the conference and the campus life of Shobhit University. Last but not least, I again welcome to all the invited speakers and delegates. Thank you very much.
Before going for tea break, please everybody stand up for the national anthem. Everyone, there will be two sessions going on. We'll start both the sessions around 12:30 after the tea break. This is a 10-minute tea break. One in boardroom and another will be in the auditorium itself. Please be present over here.